Look, I know y'all want to see the 2026 attraction, or at least the progress on it so far. I know based on my view counts is what y'all want to see. So that's what I'll show you first. Dang, the soundtrack they have going. I think it's an original soundtrack in Big Bear Mountains area. It goes hard for no reason. Anyways, I'm over here by Big Bear Mountains Turnaround. This will kind of be where you go through into the 2026 attraction when it opens. It's really hard to see much of anything from in the park here, but if you do take the train, it goes around that corner over there and you get really good views of it. So I have some video clips of that I'll voice over in a second, but I'll kind of talk through some things while I'm standing here as well. So when you come up to Big Bear Mountain, you go to the left past Big Bear Mountain's entrance and exit. You cross this little bridge over Big Bear Mountain into this path that kind of seems pointless right now because it just dead ends. It doesn't go anywhere. So it makes you wonder why they even built a bridge over Big Bear Mountain over here, and it's because they knew that there was going to be another attraction here eventually. That's why the path just ends like this. So we know this path will continue past this gate in 2026 whenever the attraction opens. I assume it'll be a May opening. That seems to be what they kind of go for, but who knows. So it'll continue where you see kind of there's a gravel surface right now. We'll continue around to the left around the Big Bear Mountains turnaround there, and then the actual attraction will be going way back there. So you'll see all the way back there, there's a ton of dirt that's been moved kind of on top of that hill over there. I kind of noticed around the whole area behind Big Bear Mountain, there's a lot of dirt that's been moved in the areas off to the side that I thought they weren't really going to touch. So I'm not really sure all the infrastructure that needs to go in to make this happen. Again, it's going to be a pretty large show building back there. It'll be the new largest attraction building in the park. I don't know if it'll be bigger than any of the feeders, but it will definitely be the biggest building housing a ride or attraction. So you can see that same service road plowed up the hill back there that we could see last time I was here on opening weekend. Otherwise, from here you can see a ton of stuff going on over there. A ton of equipment like excavators, several dump trucks. Right now, it seems that they have started digging. You'll see from the train shots I'll show in a second. They have started digging. I guess digging out where the building's gonna go so they can start pouring foundations, doing utilities, that kind of thing. The building's actually in a different location than I thought. If what they're digging right now is where the building is going, the kind of rectangular plot they've dug out is all the way at the very, very like back end of this plot, like all the way up against the train tracks. So basically where you see all the dump trucks and stuff right now, behind that is where they've dug out the hole. You'll see they've also seemed to have put a decent amount of rebar in that hole and everything as well. So they seem to be making progress pretty fast here. Yeah, and to the right there, you'll see, same as opening weekend, still just a bunch of steel laid out there. They haven't started using that steel for anything yet. I assume they need to make a bit more progress on the site prep first before they're using that, but that is there. Of course, I'm sure they'll need a lot more than that to finish the full building, but there is definitely some building supplies here. It is also worth mentioning that as of a couple of weeks ago, sorry, the train's about to come by. Anyways, we know from publicly available import documents that people found a couple weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Dollywood recently received a pretty large shipment of roller coaster parts from country of origin, Germany. The exporter was listed as like confidential or something like that, which is weird because like when they got the stuff for Big Bear Mountain, it explicitly said it was being exported by Vekoma. This doesn't say, but it does say that it's coming to something from Germany, coming to Dollywood roller coaster parts. If it is for this project, it's probably in a storage building somewhere else. It doesn't appear to be anything roller coaster part related on site here yet. A lot of people have been speculating that this is a Mock Rides project, which I also believe that it is a Mock Rides project, and Mock Rides is a German manufacturer, so that seems to check out. But another thing to keep in mind is that Dollywood does have 2 Gerstlauers. Mystery Mine and Fire Chaser Express are both Gerstlauer coasters, and Gerstlauer is also a German manufacturer. So while I personally do believe that this shipment is parts for the 2026 ride and that it is Mock Rides, I do believe that. It is at least worth saying that it is possible these are just parts for Mystery Mine and Fire Chaser and have nothing to do with this project. But personally, I think it's yet another hint that Mock Rides is doing something over here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show you those train shots in a second, the shots from the train, and voice over those, because it's going to be a lot easier to see what's going on right now. This is a project where you can't really see much of anything from the park pass, but luckily the train does go around that way, so thank you, train. But yeah, before that, just reminders of what we do know for sure that Dollywood has said about this attraction. Again, 2026 attraction, it will be indoors, or at least partially indoors, in a show building that's a little bit larger than Blazing Fury, so the largest attraction building in the park. It's either completely contained in there, or it could be something that goes in and outside, but I think it'll be fully inside. At Smoky Mountain Coaster Fest 2023, so that has been like a year and a half. But as of then, we were told that that attraction would have the highest throughput of any ride in the park, so a very high capacity attraction, and that it would be heavily themed, which both of those seem to point to a dark ride or some kind of dark ride-like experience. And then more recently, like I think after IAPA last year, Dollywood said in like a teaser thing on like Twitter or something, they said that they had purchased a new roller coaster, which made a lot of people say that this attraction was confirmed to be a coaster. I think it's also worth saying, though, that a lot of parks use the word coaster to describe things that are not coasters. So I don't think Dollywood's done that before, but it's not impossible. They're saying coaster just to refer to any ride. But I do think it's going to be some kind of indoor coaster. Recently, opening weekend, we were given that little teaser video that said that we were going to fly around the Smokies. Then we're going to fly down under the Wildwood tree to discover the secrets that lie underneath in the caverns underneath the Wildwood tree. That was interesting because that made a lot of people think it's a flying theater. I still don't think it's a flying theater. And then afterward, they did say that it's going to be an attraction unlike anything that any other park has. It's going to be something very unique. So yeah, that's kind of all the information we have right now, or at least what I can remember. Just walking through the park to get you all caught up to date on the Dollywood 2026 attraction status. If you didn't know, I'm pretty sure, personally, my prediction is a mock suspended power coaster, or based on what Dollywood's been saying recently, some kind of prototype mock rides coaster of some sort, indoor themed dark ride like experience. That's my prediction. We'll see, though. Yeah, so once you get past Big Bear Mountain's turnaround, like all the space that's behind that turnaround all the way to the outside of the train tracks, that's where this attraction is going, and that's why the train is such a good spot to see it, because it passes right by the area. No construction walls or anything that are up from the train's view, and hopefully they won't ever put any up. They didn't for Big Bear Mountain or Wildwood Grove. You could still see those pretty clearly from the train track, so hopefully that stays the case here for all of us curious souls. But anyways, as the train kind of comes around the corner here, it comes into view, you can see all the gravel is presumably where the entrance path going into this attraction will be. And I kind of made a mistake before. Back in January, I said that the attraction seemed to be going kind of right up against Big Bear Mountain's turnaround, and that's definitely what it looked like from riding Dropline back in January, but that's definitely not the case now. Either they changed their mind, or I'm just blind and can't see things very well from the top of drop towers. But you can see now that the attraction building is clearly being planned to go, and site prep is beginning, like all the way pretty much touching the outside edge of the train tracks there, which leaves a pretty decent area for like an entry plaza in between Big Bear Mountain's turnaround and where the attraction is going there. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what they do with that space. I don't anticipate there being any other rides coming with this addition, but it's possible there could be like one or two like smaller fair style flat rides like what you see in the rest of Wildwood Grove in this area. Possible, but I'm not expecting it. So hopefully as you see the train kind of pulling around this area, it really puts into perspective how big this building is going to be. You can see where they've basically dug out a giant rectangle in the dirt there where the building is going to go. As I mentioned, this building will be a little bit bigger than Blazing Fury's building, and a lot of people don't realize how big Blazing Fury's building is because it is kind of hidden when you're in the park. But when you pass Blazing Fury on the right side going towards Tennessee Tornado, that really long wall behind like the airbrush t-shirt shop that goes pretty much all the way to Tennessee Tornado, and then that wall that's behind, you know, where the 3-point challenge is, that's all Blazing Fury's show building. And you can see it also from the stairs in Wild Eagle. It is a pretty large building, and this will be even bigger than that. So I'm certainly not anywhere near as knowledgeable in building construction processes as I am for like roller coaster construction processes. Like I can usually look at a coaster being built very early on like this and kind of tell what's going on in terms of where footers are going to go. go, where a station's going to go, etc., etc. Looking at this, I'm having a really hard time figuring out exactly what's going on, but hopefully somebody with, more building construction experience can shed some light. As you can see, they've already dug out a decent amount of kind of where the building is going to go, making a flat plot of land there for that giant rectangle. And you can even see several spots as the train kind of comes around the corner where they've dug significantly deeper and even started putting in some rebar and stuff for, shaping out what could be a variety of different things. The other problem is just that we know so little about this attraction at this point that it's really hard to say with any certainty what anything we're looking at here is. All we really know is that this is a building for a ride. So yeah, kind of from the train looking back towards the park on the right-hand side of the rectangle where the building is going, you can see a deeper plot dug. I don't know if that could be, where the station area is going to be or something that requires more infrastructure underneath it or something. It's hard to say right now. I don't really see much going on in terms of conduit for like utilities and stuff like we had seen at the beginning of the restaurant that's being put in Wilderness Pass. I feel like we saw a lot more utility wise going on there pretty early in the project, so maybe we'll see that soon. Maybe they're using a different kind of solution. I'm not exactly sure. There do appear to be many places around the building though where they are getting ready to pour concrete for what look like foundations, so maybe those are foundations for, if it is an indoor coaster or something that will come up through the building, or I don't know. I just don't know. But off to the side on the front of the plot there, you can see tons of rebar. We pointed out before from inside the park, there appears to be a lot of metal that's getting ready to be used for some sort of construction, and a decent amount of construction equipment. Right now it looks like mostly kind of bulldozers and stuff, just kind of doing the site prep, and a couple excavators. It'll be interesting to see exactly where they keep digging deeper, if they do keep digging deeper. Again, I'm really intrigued by that particularly large hole full of rebar on the right. The big obvious one there. Again, that's got to be like a station area or a maintenance area or something for the ride. I don't know. It's kind of the only thing here that appears to really be taking shape. But yeah, I know this voiceover ended up being a lot of me just being like, I don't really know what's going on, and just commenting on things. But again, since we know so little about this project, it's really hard to kind of make sense of anything that we're seeing here, other than the fact that they are definitely making a lot of progress, not just on site prep, but they're really digging, and they're really putting in rebar, and they're really getting ready to hopefully pour some concrete places and all that kind of thing. Things are getting exciting for sure, and hopefully Dollywood will be dropping some more teasers on what exactly this ride will be very, very soon. All right, so next I'm up here for the main Loop for 2025 thing that's not open yet, which is of course Wilderness Pass Restaurant. Much to my chagrin, that is the final name. It's on the building. Anyways, there's been of course I haven't been to this park in about 3 weeks at this point, but there has been a staggering amount of progress completed in the last 3 weeks, and while it is not open yet, it looks like it is very close to being able to open. So they brought back this concept art they had posted here last year to look at, and as you can see, that's pretty dang close to the near final product we've got here. Yeah, I don't even know exactly where to start with all the changes that have been made since my last construction update, but you can see right on the front of the building there, they have put up the sign for Wilderness Pass Restaurant Rotisserie, smoked, wood-fired. So there you go there. The sign looks really nice. I love the colors they went for with the blue, and then the logo being like a national park kind of badge thing. Just all the colors and everything, it just really pops. It looks really good. It does seem that they have painted the outside of the building to its final colors now, so you can see it's much more vibrant colors than before. Still kind of wood colors, but you've got a darker stain in the bottom, a lighter but still pretty dark stain in the middle there, and very light stained accents. The roof is painted to kind of a greenish turquoise color. Overall, it looks really good. I cannot overstate how good this looks. You can see other accents that have been installed on the building, such as the fake rock chimneys there, the actual exhaust chimneys all around different parts of the restaurant. So hopefully all that's pretty ready to go in terms of the cooking infrastructure, if you will. You'll also be able to see the concrete padding has been poured completely. Storm drainage has been installed in that concrete padding. We have the little I don't even right word is. Flower bed. The little flower bed in the middle that was shown in the concept art, that's there and ready to go. You can see those black framed windows on the building. I think it's like a black metal frame around the windows. Those look really good, and those are all installed. Everything from more flower beds to the lantern that's above the logo that's not in the concept art, but actually looks really good there. I really love how over here you will see kind of more lanterns, if you will, that kind of have this they're like the lanterns that have like a pine tree on them. I'm sure you've seen those places. It's cool. It's a cool vibe for the area. Drink Coca-Cola logo back there because why not? You'll be able to see here, not only do they have those lanterns installed, you can also barely see just because of the camera lighting, but they have gas heaters installed in the ceiling, very similar to what we've seen, at other Dollywood kind of pavilion style areas. Ceiling fans, there are air curtains, I guess you can call them, over all the doorways. You can even see on the outside of the building you have some speakers, I guess, to kind of play music. Well, that's what speakers in theme parks do, but they got speakers mounted on the outside of the building as well. As you can see, several of the lights are turned on, and we'll see in a second. All the lights inside the actual building are turned on, which means it does have power and utilities, theoretically, so it's pretty close to fully operational. Some things definitely need to be finished up. You can see over to the right, there's several networking cables hanging from the ceiling that I assume will attach to point of sales at some point. There's still what looks like some general kitchen equipment that needs to just be wheeled in there and put in its final spot. But in terms of the actual building itself, we're pretty much done. We're pretty much there, it seems. Menu boards have been posted outside there. So yeah, that's super nice. We do have our menu boards posted out there now so we can see what this restaurant will offer. It looks like you'll have the option for a platter, which will have an entree, 2 sides, biscuit, and dessert, it said. That's pretty generous, which means it's probably going to be expensive, but you can see the entree and side items there from my zoom on my camera, so I'm not going to read all those off, but also soup and salad options on the right menu over there, or the kids' meals as well. No prices, because Dollywood never posts the prices outside. However, inside the building, the menu boards in there are done as well. Just from what can be seen through the windows there, it looks like the inside is pretty much almost finished. Like I said, they kind of just have finishing touches left to do. So the menu boards are already up. I can barely see some of the prices from here. I cannot see what the platter price is, which is what I really want to know. It's probably like $20 or $25 if I had to guess. But these are the prices for the other stuff. Salads are around $14. I think the soup was like $8 or something. Yeah, even with my camera zoom, there's just too much glare on the window to make out what the menu boards say inside. With the camera, with my own bare eyes, I could barely see some of the menu boards, and I could see that the chilies currently says $8.99 and the salad is $14.99. So we will see. It's supposed to be nice. They're coming up this side over near Fire Chaser. When this wall comes down, they'll be able to walk straight through this plaza again. Anyways, the very important Coca-Cola mural is up. So on the side closer to Fire Chaser here, you'll see there's a window for mobile order pickups. So that is something, I guess. And I guess you go in the front door around the corner for your main. The sign right there for seating area. Okay, so you have directional signs around here. Nice. To the right of the restaurant on the Fire Chaser path as well, we also have one of these signs. Kind of an interesting placement for it, but there you go, just kind of detailing an advertisement for the restaurant. I want some catfish. It's still kind of hard to tell here exactly what the configuration is going to be. Obviously, you go in through those middle doors there to order, it seems. A mobile order pickups are on the side over by Fire Chaser, but in terms of like, you know, what the little outdoor wings here are, don't really know how any of that's going to work. We'll just have to kind of see when it opens, I guess. Also, I am disappointed. I really hoped this restaurant would have a decent bit of indoor seating because Dollywood really lacks that. But there appears to be like almost no indoor seating whatsoever, which really sucks. You go to like a Cedar Fair park nowadays, and most Cedar Fair parks have like a pretty large and you know, plenty of indoor seating space where you can just kind of, well, there's even on crowded days at like Carowinds and stuff, I've always been able to find places to sit indoors to eat. I do like sitting outdoors at theme parks, but when the weather's not great, it's good to have indoor restaurant seating, and it sucks that Dollywood's basically gotten rid of like almost all of their indoor restaurant seating, but it is what it is. This will be a good addition because they really needed another like high capacity, decent restaurant in the back of the park here. You had Till and Harvest up near Wildwood Grove. There's like a hot dog stand back here, and then barbecue in Grasslands Valley, but those are both pretty far, so they needed something else right here. So this is definitely a good addition. I'm concerned about the price, but we'll see on that. Yeah, I'm sad, but as you can see, no update. We got the exact same sign. This beloved attraction will reopen later this season. Yeah, but no indication on what later this season means. Obviously, really nothing else to show here because I can't really just bust down the door and walk in there. I mean, I guess I could. No, I don't think I could break that lock, and that's a pretty easy, quick and dirty way to get a trespass from the park. But as of now, they haven't said anything about like reopening time frame or what the refurbishment is. Literally this piece, this like note here is literally all that they've said. So I don't know. I just wish they would put on their website or something like just a little bit more of what's going on, just so I know about the general time frame. I've lived in this area, coming to Dollywood regularly for like 4 years at this point, and even before that, I'd come to Dollywood probably at least once a year from like middle school onward. So I've ridden this ride a lot, and I really like it. It's a classic. I like dark rides, so I really was hoping to ride this ride one more time before I move. For those that don't know, I am moving pretty far away in June for work, so I only got a couple more months. And my schedule is pretty tight, so again, I wanted to ride this one more time before I leave, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to because I don't know when it's opening. But anyways, poor Blazing Fury. It's been closed since about September at this point, so that's rough. All right, check this out. It appears we are heading up into the new parking lot. So I don't know if it's completely done yet, but I'm driving up a new road for sure. This was not here before, so this is fun. Yeah, so here it is. I guess it is completed. Welcome to Lot F. Yeah, so the new parking lot is parking lot F. It's on the other side of all these fences over there, so you can't see the new pavement quite yet. All the way back there, you can see the new lights. It really runs way back there, and it does seem to be open now. It's kind of weird driving up here because it's just all the trees that have been cut down over there. But you can kind of see from here, very large parking lot. I'm not going to go over there right this second because I got to go in for the event, but you can see lots of new signage up for wayfinding and everything. There's new signage along the road that runs down there as well, making it easy to find said parking lot. But yeah, Lot F, so I think that's just going to be a general parking lot back there. So just figured I'd show on the way out. This is the new completed parking lot F that you can park in, and here's the road up here. So there you go.